Thank you for choosing this podcast. This is a working class production.
What's up, guys? This is your girl, Chanel Loren.
What's going on? It's Done Son on the ones and twos.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Verve Sessions, guys. I just want to say thank you for those of you that like our SoundCloud audio shows, episodes, and the ones those of you that repost. So thanks for your support.
Love you.
How many months have we been doing this?
It feels like a little minute.
3. Okay. Oh, great. So, Mickey, how was your week? Well,
It was good.
Your week, I guess.
It was good. It was cool. I can't complain. I'm a little tired, but I'm a G. I'm gonna just keep on going, you know,
Okay.
and just keep on making it working. Work life, all that good stuff. You know, just keep my head above water. How about you?
It's been a light week so far. 2 more days.
It's been a light week.
Well, yeah, 2 more days.
Okay. Everything's been going good in Chanel's world.
Yeah. I look forward to. I'm off Saturday, so I'm excited.
Ooh, what you gonna do with your weekend?
I'm actually going to a tea party, an annual tea party.
So you're gonna raise your pinky a
I
lot.
always raise my pinky
Always.
when I drink.
Oh, that's the law.
No, it's just something that I do that I noticed like last year. Like, wow, my pinky always sticks out.
So your pinky is just always, as you sip,
Every time I drink with a mug,
the pinky.
my pinky's always out. A mug, a teacup, pinky's always out.
Pinky up.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
so I'm excited.
That's what's up.
Fellowship, sisterhood.
Oh, you have a fellowship sisterhood, huh? What you'll call yourselves, the Red Hat?
No, but I think it's like
Your guy have a
20
name.
of us.
You don't have a name for your gang?
No, because it's different people that come every year.
Oh,
I mean, some of the same people return, but
okay. But
So-
you're a consistent member.
yes.
Yeah, you got to lead that.
I think
crew.
as African American women,
Mm.
we have to step outside of the box as far as hobbies and things that we do. You know, a lot of times when women get together, they might have a gathering. Everybody brings something like a potluck, go to somebody's house and gossip or whatever. But to dress up and put on gloves and hats and have tea and the whole thing, and then afterwards we go to a winery and then we have dinner. So it's just it's different. You know what I mean? It's levels.
So you're gonna dress up and put on gloves? And
Yeah,
such?
you know, we got on a dress.
Is
the
it gonna be
heels.
photo footage of this?
Yeah, we take pics, the whole nine. And it's usually a garden, and yeah. Saturday's supposed to be 74 degrees. It's in Pennsylvania, so but yeah, it's a good time.
You already have your dress picked out?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sorry. I went shopping for it, didn't find anything, so I'll find something.
IG, get ready. You're about to see her tea
yeah,
time.
I'm about to
She's
turn
gonna
up.
have her driving Miss
They
Daisy
can't see
dress.
me though, cause my page private. But
Oh
those
yeah,
of
I
you
forgot
that
you.
follow me,
Yeah, I forgot you. She's very hidden in these streets.
yeah, turn up. But yeah. Before we jump into Ray Rice, because clearly that's what's
We're
on.
gonna start off there.
No, we're not. We're gonna talk about something before.
Okay, we're gonna warm it up. I'm glad that we're gonna warm it up.
I think we should share with the people our Horseshoe Casino experience.
Oh yeah.
Al, who's the producer, Mickey, and myself. Last Friday we went to the new casino that opened in Baltimore, and it was interesting.
Very interesting.
Um,
Very interesting.
They didn't see. I saw Nokia from Drew Hill.
How did he look?
He looked bad.
No.
He looks bad. But that's not shocking. But every time I see him, I go,
I'm
how
shocked.
did Angie Martinez have a son by this man? It puzzles me.
First of
every
all,
time.
Nokia wasn't like that when Angie.
He
probably
wasn't, but he
with
was
him.
still super feminine back in the day.
You always thought Nokia was
I've
super
always
feminine?
thought Cisco and Nokia were
No, he's pouring candle wax on women, man.
the people. Men
And
who are the
biting
most
them.
freakiest are a lot of them are in the closet.
I don't agree with that statement.
I know it to be true, but that's neither here nor there.
What? You know it to be true?
Yes.
Wow. Comment below on that one. Somebody tell me if that, I didn't know. So comment on that one.
Yeah, but
Ladies and people.
But yeah, they tried to get our boy Al for his money, for his paper.
Yeah, they put a gun to his back, man.
No, they
gun
didn't.
to his back.
Don't
And
believe what he said.
they told him to
Not
drop the
literally.
bag in an Old Navy bag. Drop your
Man,
winnings.
That was crazy. So what was it? The chips were worth $5 initially, and you won $120, and then you took your chips because you thought that was okay. Because we were eating at Guy Fieri's restaurant, and Al was anxious, and he had to go play roulette. So he left the table, got his chips, came back like, guys, I won 120, and we like, oh, turn up. So we go back to the table. He thinking, he gonna cash out, do whatever, and then they tell him that after 9 o'clock, his chips reduced to $1. So instead of getting 120, now he's getting $24 or something, $25, something bogus. So I mean, we had to, you know what I mean? Not we. I was just innocent bystander.
His cousin had a weapon. His cousin said she was gonna go to her trunk and get her.
He had to get
her
real
pistol.
indignant, but
She
classy.
didn't even look like that. That's the crazy part. Her cousin doesn't look like that type of person.
See, those are the ones
so
you gotta
quiet
watch. See, people who
and
are already
sweet.
turned up, those are idiots. It's the quiet ones that you have to look out for. But yeah, I mean, long story short, he got his money, but he had to put up a fight and talk to managers on top of managers.
He
and
was blinking
This
at
was
him.
the first week. It was like crazy. I was trying to get somebody in there fired, but whatever.
She was chilling in the cut.
Mickey said to me,
She was in the
he
cut.
said, "I'm surprised you're so calm."
And she was like, I don't get involved in people's business.
I said,
he's a man. He's
I
gonna
said,
take care
Alice
of
here
it.
with his wife. That's up to them. That's none of my business. As I said, T. If they need me, tag me in the game, and I'll
Tag
participate.
me in the game. She had a high kick for somebody. She definitely had a high kick for somebody. She had to finish him. Finish him, high kick.
I just watched, but then, we played slots.
Mm-hmm.
This guy Mickey.
Sweet nectar.
So this guy Mickey.
Sweet nectar.
How much you win, Mickey?
I want me a buck. I want me a mean little buck.
Ask me how much I won.
She won
38
joy.
cents.
A bag full of joy. Can't nobody take that away from you.
38 cents.
I won't let you know that. Nobody.
And
can
then Al, he won. I was just like, it's not my day.
you don't like when people win around you, but you don't.
I mean,
win.
let's win together.
But didn't we win together?
No,
Didn't we?
because y'all didn't share your coins.
Al shared his coins, didn't he?
No, he did not. You did not give. Oh, you mean
She won part
you
of your
gave me a-
winnings.
I'm talking about your
Look at
winnings.
Al.
I'm not
Al
talking
said,
about
"No,
dollars for the
oh,
slot machine. I'm talking about
He said,
some of this jackpot.
I wish
player.
y'all could see him scratch his head with people that
I ain't
talking
talking about
about.
$2, $3, $4. It's all good. I'll
It's
go
cool.
back so I can prove myself that
It's
I can
okay.
win.
You know, you know what? Technically, no. Al's cousin pushed me to that seat. I was gonna take her seat.
Yeah.
And she pushed me to that
I was
seat.
in the seat, the losing seat.
You know, it's okay though. Once again, a bag of joy is priceless. And you came in
Says
with a
the
bag
winner.
of joy.
Says the winner. I
and your
wondered
joy
the
was
speech would have been the same
filled.
if the roles were reversed. If I won and
Would you
had
tell
a bag
me
of
I had
joy,
a bag of joy?
I would not tell you you had a
Why
bag of joy.
would you do that?
I'm not trying to steal your joy, but I wouldn't. I've never heard of nobody say a bag of joy.
A bag of joy it's hard to find. People
Is
want
it?
joy out there. You
Well,
know.
congratulations on your winnings, on your earnings.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think what was better was the experience of yelling and screaming and pressing the buttons and losing money.
Was fun.
It was enjoyable. And Al, the funny thing is, Al's not here right now. He's outside getting a jump start to his car. But when he gets back in here, he can hear us talk about how, he took joy. It's almost like if when you're a kid, I don't have a kid, but if you have a kid or even a nephew and you take him out hunting,
wow.
You give him his pistol to go out and shoot a few things. And then he was kind of like low key saying like, yeah, go, yeah, go ahead, try again, yeah, gamble some more. Go ahead, gamble some more. And I wasn't sure if it was in my head or it was somebody really telling me to keep gambling. And sure enough, it's Al with the Birdman hand rub in the background,
wow.
telling people to keep on gambling. Because we was actually not, his situation really killed the juju. I really was on some like, yo, I'm not getting on these slots because, I'm not trying to lose for real. Like, I feel like, yo, like when somebody start having issues, like I like smooth sailing. Like if we smooth sailing in here, then all right, I feel the energy. We got good energy going on. But when somebody almost get robbed by the people, the blinking eye man, whoever blinking eye man was, he was fidgety. You know what Al
Who's
did?
blinking eye man?
The guy that was talking to Al, he kept blinking his eyes.
My man who, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's because Al, Al been in the weight room. And so, he probably intimidated him a little bit. And he got locks too.
My man was blinky.
He was kind of like, I had to talk to this Negro calm. I don't want him to lay the smack of down on my candy ass. I thought for sure he was going to follow
that black man over the white man.
All right. And Al, I had to give big ups to the Trey Foe. He pulled out the Trey Foe when he was talking to him. He looked him in the eye. Gave him almost the Rock type of stern, like.
I was proud of Al.
Al said, "Hey." I expected nothing less.
I thought Al was going to let it go because he's a nice Southern man. But I was like, stand your ground, brother. No. Get that paper.
No, Al ain't going to let no cash be on the floor. You can't let no cash leave the floor. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick up that cash now.
Well,
$100 is real money now.
Where do we go now? I'm confused.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to go in? Like, we're not going to be subtle? I mean, we're going to just go all the way in?
No, we're not going to do foreplay. We just going to go straight to the G-spot. No pecs. Just straight throttle. Now, so Ray Rice, Mickey, tell him about
it. If you were underneath a rock.
That's what I was going to say.
If you were underneath a rock.
All week.
A man was crucified the other day. We shouldn't be laughing at this, to be honest. This is actually not funny. But a man was crucified the other day. It's been a long time since I've seen a crucifixion. You can tell how hard I have a time saying it because I haven't seen it before. The first time I heard of a crucifixion. A crucifixion. The first time that I seen someone get crucified like that, I was in Sunday school. It was a long time ago, and a man, they were describing the story of Jesus. And that was the last man that I ever seen crucified like that. So when I'm looking at TV, when I saw some persecution, I didn't know. I just thought they were going to tell the story.
So why was he crucified?
The backstory is, obviously there was a case going on with Ray Rice, when running back, when he went to a casino with his then fiance
Rebel, which is now closed.
Him and his fiance got onto an elevator, had an altercation, and TMZ released. I don't want to say their name.
Everyone knows.
I hate giving them any type of energy, but they, a news source,
3 million views.
A news source, yeah, horrible people they are. The news source released a video with the fiance being dragged out of the elevator unconscious, but there was never any video footage to show what actually happened in the elevator. So Ray already had gotten shot with that one, right? So that was the one where people were like, "Oh my gosh, what did he do? Something happened on the elevator. Nobody saw it." And they were like, "Well, still he got the horrible stab." So this was months ago. What was this, in February when this kind of happened? February, I want to say February. So then, fast forward, he had the original law that had been laid down. Excuse me. That he had gotten 2 games. He had to pay a fine.
Mm-hmm. Go to counseling.
And go to counseling because he went through a legal situation which he had to take counseling to not do jail time. Then he had to go to Goodell and get the 2-game suspension with money that he was going to lose. And so and he had to take therapy, this, that, and the third with his wife. They got married not too long after the case. His wife didn't testify against him in that case for what happened. Once again, let's all keep in mind, we all assumed that something bad happened.
I knew he knocked her out. Everybody was like, oh, maybe she was drunk. No.
Yeah, like all of us assumed what happened, and no one really knew. So fast forward, make a long story short. At some point early in the morning, what day was it? Monday morning. Not even maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Something hits the wire. Like a flame in the fire.
Like a moth to a flame burned by the fire.
Not like that. And literally, you see a black and white video. But this black and white video is very complete.
It's not Jay-Z. It's not Solange.
You see 2 individuals, and once you see Ray in them, I said, oh my gosh. Because now I know that this part of the video, but I'm gonna keep it so real. When I saw the beginning, I already knew. Now, I didn't know crucifying was going to happen. I didn't know he was going to get crucified. I just thought, this is the worst thing that can happen. Because if you were trying to keep this where no one ever saw the video of the inside, it didn't have to be told to me. I was like, this is the inside of the video. This is going to be the video of what happened inside. Sure enough, we see Ray and his wife on the elevator. They have some words. She like gives him a slap or something like that, and he gives her a mean hook.
Yeah, with the left.
Now I didn't see. Someone said she gets hit twice. I didn't see the twice. I just saw one.
I saw
hook.
a video where they showed it, and then they showed it in slow mo. And I only watched it once, and that was enough. I was like.
Yeah, and I didn't even see it originally because I don't start my day off watching negative stuff. I have a problem even watching the news in the morning because I don't like to start my days off.
I
with
just recently
energy.
started watching the news, but I only watch it specifically for the weather.
Yeah, I want to see the weather. I really don't care. Like my peoples are more like, you need to know what's going on. You need to know, don't ignore what's going on. I don't care what's going on.
Anything we need, you can go to the website. You can go to CNN. You can go to
Someone got shot today, and then tomorrow and the next days. I don't want to watch the news. So, and to give more of a backstory too, let me say this. It's one of those moments, I think the last moment I felt a type of way about the person that got in trouble was probably like, I want to say Ray Lewis. Because Ray Lewis was like, I was a big Ray Lewis. I am still a big Ray Lewis fan. But at that time, I was disappointed.
And tell us what happened.
Oh, he fought a case where
he was in Atlanta.
He was in Atlanta.
Okay.
There's a lot of different. I'm not gonna go into all the different stories of what happened that night, but an altercation happened with people he was with
in a club.
And they committed a crime. They got into his limo, and he caught basically a charge for not telling the exact story of what exactly happened.
Oh, it's slowly but surely coming to me.
He caught obstruction of justice. So
wasn't he? And didn't he go somewhere and preach?
I don't think he was in preaching mode at that time.
No. He went to some. Oh wait, last year or the year before, he was preaching. I saw this online.
I mean, maybe so. I'm talking pre-preacher.
He preached. And he was talking about that incident, like how the Lord has brought me back. Like he had on his 3-piece suit. And I was like,
and that mean Beijing.
Oh.
That mean Beijing. I don't know what.
Coke.
Man, they got that joint, man.
Your line is sharp. His line is sharper. I didn't think it could get sharper than your line.
They used the stick. They used the stick to make that line straight. But I was very hurt by the Ray thing. I obviously, like many people, did not think that it was. I knew. Look, listen. I know I'm a big MMA guy. I've taken martial arts probably my whole life, so I'm very much into what knocks people out. And I really was kind of like, if she's unconscious, she probably took a mean one. But I didn't want to say it.
The way he dragged her out let me know his attitude already was like, this bitch.
Yeah.
It wasn't
did
on
have,
some.
yeah.
It wasn't on some. Oh, my fiance's drunk. No, he didn't care. Like he was dragging her like a bitch off the corner.
Yeah, he gave her a little kick too. He did. He felt the type of way. It's
like when I tell you you have zero fucks to give when you do that in public, and then when the doors open, like the doors closed up on her legs, and then he was like, oh fuck, and then start dragging her. Like people are still perusing this resort.
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah, it was very hard to watch, and it was one of those things where prior to the crucifying, I knew he was going to get it, and actually I texted my cousin, and I was like, when I started hearing the radio and listening to sports radio, I texted my cousin and said he's not gonna make it through the day, like they're gonna kick him off the team. And my cousin, he was like, nah, man, he already is doing 2 games. Like, they're probably going to up the games, but they're not going to kick him on the team. I say, dog, they are calling the radio at insane volumes, dog. You talking like
Social
this thing is, it's too much. Like, you can't, that's too vicious. You're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. And sure enough, but maybe 1 o'clock, almost around 1 o'clock, the ESPN ticker was like, Ray Rice has been released from the team, and the NFL has banned him indefinitely. Right. So I was like, he was like, yo, I mean, but he already took the blah 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 blah. I was like, yo, but they never saw the punch. They never saw the punch.
My thing is, okay, yes, abuse is awful.
Awful. Don't
condone it. Don't like
at
it.
At all.
Fuck all you abusers out there, male and female. But
I like that you put females in as well.
Yeah. But it was just like the force in which my man just snapped back. And maybe if it wasn't for the railing, she wouldn't have passed out. Mm-hmm. But she could have died. Like,
he rattled that jaw, man.
Like, when I tell you her neck, like, she could have been dead. Like, so it's like I don't have no sympathy. Like, when I heard they suspended him for a year, I was like, that's what you get. Now, when it was like indefinitely, I was like, man, that's a bit excessive.
Like, you thought that was excessive?
Indefinitely, I thought that was excessive. A year, yeah. Think about that. Lose all your endorsements. Yeah. Because a lot of times I feel like these celebrities, especially athletes, feel like they can be womanizers, abusers, or whatever, and they're invincible. And they can get away with murder and still be a champion when it comes to that field or that court or whatever. And that's not cool. But when I found out he was banned indefinitely, I was like, they must be making an example out of him for others to follow. Then when I heard about the quote-unquote Ray Rice rule, like, because Facebook, they would just educate me because I'm not a football fan at all. But because this is Baltimore,
Lord have mercy,
and it's Ravens, I mean, everybody and
comment
mama
below about her not being a football fan.
It's all right. You'll love me anyway. So my homegirl hit me and what's the dude's name? The long ass name that had sexual assault. Roethlisberger. Yeah. What did he do? He was banned definitely, but then he ended up playing for the same team.
He never got banned. He took 6 games.
He did what?
He got 6 games, I believe, and he got 6 games, and he had to pay like a fine. And you know what? And
to me, a fine is laughable because they have the money.
Yeah. But see, the thing about Roethlisberger and it's kind of it's very bad how someone brought that up to me recently. Actually in the barbershop, they were like, "Yo, it's crazy how Ray Rice gonna lose all these, lose his whole career, and Roethlisberger's raping people. I mean, knocking somebody out is horrible. I mean, don't get me twisted, it is horrible. But yo, I don't think there's any. If you ask the woman, what would they rather have? Would they rather get knocked out or get raped?
I don't even want to compare.
Yeah, I'm just saying what they.
Foolish.
I'm
Not
saying
you,
what they saying.
But I think for a man to say that out loud is like, Do you have no compassion for a woman?
Mm-hmm.
One sin isn't greater than the other. Sexual assault is horrible. Knocking a bitch out is horrible.
Why she gotta be a B?
Cause the way he hit her like bitch. Like that's how he hit her. And I'm not making light of it, but that's how he hit her. They're both, to me,
They're horrible.
on the same playing field. Like
they're horrible, but I will say this: rape is probably they're both horrible, but rape I'm gonna put at number 1. And we could do 1.5, but I think rape is. I don't agree with the way he said it, but I'm saying rape is probably.
I mean,
the worst.
I've never been raped. I've never been
God.
physically abused or emotionally abused. Thank
I'm
you,
glad.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Won't he do it? But for somebody saying that you can snap back from a punch in the face versus being sexually violated, I mean, tomato. I mean, I guess however you look at it. Either way, it's wrong, and it should have major penalties.
Yeah, I agree. Both. I mean, look, neither one is right. But I think what he was trying, I can better articulate is, I think what he was trying to say was that Roethlisberger gets 6 games.
He got away with murder.
And let's be clear, there is, I believe, don't quote me, there's at least 2 solid that were accusing him of rape. It doesn't mean that exactly happened, but it was 2.
What happened to I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
What happened to the guy recently? I think he's a retired basketball player that mad victim said he raped him. This was this year.
I think you're talking about the football player.
Oh, what's his name?
I think his name is Darren something.
Yes. What happened with him?
Darren
Sharper. What happened with Darren Sharper? I mean, he's not playing
still
anymore.
in jail.
But, he's in jail for how long?
Probably forever.
Oh, good for him.
Probably forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, being a serial rapist. I mean, serial. You know.
But my thing is, once we told people what happened, now I want to dig into social media and comments and what people had to say and stupid ass comments that people had to say. You had a lot of people saying, well, men and women, which I think pisses me off. Well, she married him, so if she over it, then we should be over it. No. Domestic abuse is a fucking crime.
Yes, it is.
That he should pay for. She's an idiot. Clearly, she needs help for accepting that behavior because you don't left hook your fiance for the first time like that. It's clearly happened multiple times before.
We can't make that as a solid statement. We can't make that as a solid statement.
You can't, but I will.
Okay, that's cool.
That wasn't the first time he hit her.
And people have said that all this week.
I'm sticking by that.
I know, and this is good. This is good what we're having here because this is my opinion on it. I don't like. I'm not a fan of people making like. A lot of women have said things that they can't. There's no evidence to prove that actually happened.
Of course not.
You know, like he hit her. You know, if he hit her that time, he hit her before. Well, what if that was the only time he ever hit her in his life?
Doubt it.
I just don't think you can say absolutely.
I believe it in my heart.
I mean, that's cool, but I don't think you can 110% say that. That was, you know, she just was getting beat on every time you look around. He was
I'm not
beating
saying
on her.
every time,
or you know,
but I don't think that was first case. Neither here nor there. I'm sure it wasn't the last. I'm sure it wasn't. I don't think he was cured. Like
what?
This is my opinion.
Well, not cured now, but I do believe. My thing is, did he do something horrible? Yes. Everything that has happened to him, he deserves. Like, he deserves to lose his job. He deserves, I don't know about the ban, but he could be banned. That's fair.
Do you think that a regular man, because he's not regular, he's a celebrity, but a regular Joe, I won't use any of you because I don't want to make hypothetical abusers out of you. But Steve.
Yeah,
okay.
Steve's
hey,
cool,
Steve,
dude.
bastard.
Shouts out Steve.
No, he's an abuser. Say
Sorry,
Steve
Steve.
abuses his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that if his job finds out, that his job should terminate him?
Excuse me. They should, but it wouldn't.
Because they can't.
they're not gonna terminate his. I mean,
like if it didn't come close to the job, like if he was a perfect employee at work, you had no clue, but somebody who worked for the company saw him out and was like, yo, like, chick had a black eye, he was manhandling told it to the boss. Do you think that they should have
it depends. I mean, because like, I know when you work for the government, it's very hard. Like, if you have it, I've heard of stories, like, if you fighting something criminal, you don't want that to really get back to them because they can kind of get rid of you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not absolutely sure about that. But I will say, like, let's say if you work at, I don't know, like some office pool job, I don't know, because that case has nothing to do with your job. As crazy, I mean, that's your personal life.
What does Ray Rice domestic life have to do with the Ravens?
It really has,
because he represents the team. So what he does is a natural reflection of the NFL.
It does. I mean, it does. I mean, the problem with Ray's position, the thing with him is, you know, while a lot of people say it's none of anybody's business what goes on between them, that could be said, but the reality is he is a representative of an organization. He is the face. He's a part of a face, not the total
Especially
face,
endorsements.
but he's definitely a part of the face of the Ravens,
the champions,
and one of the more notable Ravens. So when he does something wrong, it looks really bad on the organization. It's almost, it messes up the brand. Yeah. It messes up the business. And I think the difference between him and regular people is regular people are not a part of a brand.
We can hear. I'm sorry. Like, I can't. I can't deal. Like.
So Al's still getting his car together.
Sorry if you hear ice guys in the background. It's so unprofessional, and it's not us. You would think a producer would have more coof.
Said he didn't have any coof.
But okay.
Said he didn't have any coof. I haven't heard coof in so long. But yeah, I think that most jobs you probably wouldn't lose your job.
So
fighting a case.
I heard a lot of people on social media make excuses for Ray and defend him because you're fans. I think before we are sports fans, we should be human fans.
I agree.
And you should empathize with the victim because she is a victim.
I agree.
And then a lot of people use the word provoke, and it bothers me to no end. Like, well, she provoked him. Now, I don't agree with a man hitting a woman, and I don't agree with a woman hitting a man, but by no means, if a lady hits you, should you punch her in her face. Like, I just feel like we've had this conversation before. I don't know why we talked about abuse. I feel like people are just abusive. That's probably why we talked about it. But
yeah.
For the most part, men are stronger than women. Now, we're not talking about your cases of oppression. We're not talking about Precious and Kevin Hart being a couple. In most cases, men are stronger and they weigh more. So I feel like you can easily restrain your chick. Like, I'm not even mad at a quick yoke. You know what I mean? Like, if you gotta be like, yo, shake her.
Put her up against the
don't throw her. Just
grab her.
A good
maybe a
good stern shake.
And she don't stop you. Maybe you grab her butt. Just
I don't know if you gotta do the police and put the hands behind the back something. But by no means do you lay hands.
Grab a boob or two.
I don't know what's going on here, but by no means. So women are like, well, she shouldn't have hit him. Really? So if you were in her shoes, you'd be like, oh, well, you would wake up from the knockout and be like, well, I deserve that.
I peed on myself.
Like,
I'm sorry.
What?
I peed on myself.
Then,
I'm sorry.
Oddly enough, I had a lot of women admit to being abused. Like, I had a lot of people on my Facebook like, man, I sympathize with her. I done been through that experience before. And I'm like, damn, like, you just never know what people are dealing with behind closed doors.
That is true. Al has this saying that I can't say right now, but that saying is pretty. No one knows the nose of the nose knows. I knew I would get him on there. Go
Every week.
I'm successful.
This is from Two Live Crew.
Oh.
No one knows where the nose goes when the doors close.
This guy.
Everybody
taking
kneeling ain't
selfies.
praying. There you go. That's the saying.
Why is he taking selfies in the middle of the show?
I mean, Al had his moment. I figured I could get my perfect selfie moment in there. But
You don't know what people are battling.
yeah.
So yeah.
Talk about Janae defending her man. Talk about that.
Oh yeah, let me read it to y'all. Hold on, well, you keep talking. I'm gonna pull it up.
So a statement comes out where Janae, after the crucifying his wife, after the crucifying of her husband, she stood up and said, a statement that basically was talking about how she felt it was horrible what they were doing to her husband, taking away his livelihood, taking away something that he worked so hard his whole life. And
Okay, here we go.
She's in it. Go ahead.
So she posted yesterday, I woke up this morning feeling like I had a horrible nightmare, feeling like I'm mourning the death of my closest friend, but to have to accept the fact that its reality is a nightmare in itself. No one knows the pain that the media and unwanted options from the public has caused my family. To make us relive a moment in our lives that we regret every day is a horrible thing. To take something away from the man I love that he has worked his ass off for all his life just to gain ratings is a horrific. We're not going to talk about grammar right now, but that's a mess. This is our life. In all caps. What don't you all get? If your intentions were to hurt us, embarrass us, make us feel alone, take all the happiness away, you've succeeded on so many levels. Just know we will continue to grow and show the world what real love is. Ravens Nations, we love you. Now, for her second to last sentence to say, just know we will continue to grow and show the world what real love is. I'm sorry, ma'am. That's what you consider real love? I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Abuse, my fair lady, that is not real love.
I agree. Now,
There's so many women that are abuse victims and they go back because they depend on a man financially.
that's true.
I don't know her story. I don't know if she works, if she I don't know. But and again, I don't understand because I've never been abused. But from what I've seen
Jesus.
movies and talked to people on Facebook who've been abused and all sorts of things, and I've done case studies in college and all sorts of craziness on abuse, you don't go back. And for many people who can't relate, we look at movies like, what's love got to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Ike and Tina. He was beating her ass.
If you die,
God rest
I'll kill
his soul
you.
today.
If you die, I'll kill you. I'll bring you back and kill you again.
Anime. Yeah, so it's just like, yo, if he did that in an elevator, you don't think he has done it before, Mickey. Neither does Al. I think he's done it before. But if you are that bold to do that in public, who knows what you're capable of doing behind closed doors where there's no camera for TMZ to leak. So, it's just like she needs counseling.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you love him. I get it.
Well, they're both in counseling.
But yeah, to marry a man after that incident within months is absurd to me. Like somebody in their clear mind would have called off the divorce and left.
I would not argue that statement. Statement.
And then a lot of people would say, well, it's easier said than done. But I just pray for the both of them, honestly.
Yeah, most definitely pray for the both of them. I want, for the sake of not. I don't like using devil's advocate, but let me throw another perspective, right?
Okay.
Now, I used to hear old time stories from back in the day where husbands, once again, before I say this, I'm not condoning any of the actions that Ray did. They were all wrong, and what he got, he deserves. I don't. The only thing that I thought was a little crazy is I think once a man makes a mistake and he has been put out there, dragged through the mud, he is allowed to redeem himself. I do believe redemption is a part it's a part of. I think a man has the right to redeem himself. He has to prove himself because okay, if we all made one mistake or made a series of mistakes and that defined us for the rest of our life, where would we be? I don't think there's anybody perfect
I feel
on
like
this
I
world.
need to play the organ right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody perfect
Mr.
on this
Benediction.
world. And if God is going to forgive you, God will forgive you. If he asks God for forgiveness,
Yes, God.
and he goes and takes the proper help, not only psychologically and through therapy, but through spiritual means,
Through guidance. Yes.
I think there's always a chance to redeem. I really think that, like the media, the one thing I don't like is they don't care about him personally, or her personally, or the kid personally. They have a kid together too. I don't think they care about them personally, and I think it's okay to drag him in the mud. He needs to drag him in the mud because when you do something like that, you have to accept the consequences that come with that. Fine, I understand the dragging in the mud. The reason why I called yesterday the crucifying is because the man was killed on TV in a way that
He doesn't mean this literally.
he was killed in a way that he was killed, like media killed. You just killed. Like when you run a news story where every person takes a shot at how they feel about you, which is it's fair game. But then at some point, okay, now that we've said how horrible this is and how we feel about this, how can we help this couple? How can we use what has happened to them?
Well, that's not what media is for. Media is not to help you. It's to break you down.
But that's horrible.
Well, I agree. That's
not cool.
That's what TMZ is for. That's what blogs are for.
TMZ is their journalistic integrity. And the one thing I'll also say I don't like about, now look.
They have integrity?
Nothing at all.
Oh.
But because I've heard journalists say this. A matter of fact, I think it was Elliot Wilson that said this.
Shout out to Elliot.
They had let me not use Elliot because I don't remember the story all exactly. But there was a report that said they had gotten evidence about a certain celebrity marrying another celebrity and they weren't of age. And the marriage license was there. And they
Why don't you just say the names? Because we know who you're talking about. At least I do.
Who am I talking about?
R. Kelly and Aaliyah.
Okay. And so they could have reported that story.
But that was...
But they were like...
That was
no.
years.
But
people
see,
had...
But Elliot, a matter of fact, it must have been... Because Elliot said that was the one thing he don't like about the game is there's no journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
Every story can't be released. And it can't... And I'm not saying this story... Technically, the story's out there. Yeah. The story is out there. Everybody knows that the altercation happened. Everybody knows that something happened in that elevator that was horrible. I don't think the video necessarily needed to be out. I don't. Now, I do think that the Ravens and the NFL
let's talk about that.
Should see the tape.
Well, they saw it 3 months ago. They saw it in April.
The second part?
Yeah, that was released today on the news.
Well, they said that they didn't see it.
Yeah, but
okay,
before I came here,
well,
they saw it in April.
Either or, whatever. If they're lying or not lying, whatever.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, now that decision, they should have the decision to make from that point. But do I think all of us as a society, and the reason why I say we shouldn't see it is because when the daughter grows up and has to see that tape of her mom getting knocked out and her father getting knocked out.
We say this a lot, right? We say
that
this a lot.
man should have the right, and her should have the right to move forward. If they decide they want to be together, let's just say, for the sake of saying, 20 years from now, let's just say, and I pray that this happens. It may not happen. Who knows? He might just be an abuser for the rest of his life. Who knows? I hope not. I pray not. But let's just say 20 years from now, he doesn't. And that goes back to what I was originally trying to say. Like, I've heard of some stories of older couples having some really, back in the days, having some really awful situations happen between two married people, right? And years later, you don't even know the craziness that happened between them. We talking like it back in the day, women didn't have
They kept secrets.
Yeah, it was some dark.
They didn't even tell their blood.
Yeah, it was some horrible. You know,
I just found out
think,
some stuff about my father's side that I had no clue about.
You know,
because they bury it.
Oh yeah,
That's
and that's not cool. That's not cool either. But I'm saying there were some times where back in the day, like I feel like it's unfortunate. And I believe there are many stories of women being abused even back then.
More so then.
More so probably then than now. And there weren't any video cameras or anything like that.
It has a lot to do with your self-worth.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, back then women definitely didn't have the power that they have now.
Because we were home in the house taking care of the children, and he was the breadwinner.
Yeah, with the flower dress on,
so
no shoes, having babies.
You didn't feel like you could leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Where were you going? You didn't have an education.
And it was looked bad upon women leaving men.
Oh, yeah, to death do we part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those things are but the idea that I'm saying is that one of the things, I don't know, she has a right. If she decided that she didn't want to be with him anymore, she has a right to do that, because that what happened was so heinous that she has a right to do that. I do look at her trying to make that work as something powerful too. And the reason why I say that is because
she can start doing speaking engagements now. I mean, you can easily capitalize off of this bad situation.
But
that's what a PR rep is going to tell you.
True. But I just find something about, like, most women, the fact that most women would leave you and that this woman will try to at least try.
But we're saying this because we've never been through it. It's easy
true.
to say it when you're on the outside.
That's true. But I'm just saying, I would, like, if I'm marrying somebody, and I would never, that ain't even my character as a person, but I would like to think that this woman is going to be there through thick and thin. Thick and thin is described as thick and thin, but it's not.
When people say thick and thin, I shouldn't have to be abused.
That is absolutely true.
God did not say, get married, endure ignorant types of treatment because you got married in front of me. No.
That's true.
No.
I agree.
No. You're not going to emotionally abuse me, tear me down, beat me up. But because, and you have a lot of people who are brainwashed by the church. A lot of Christians. A lot of Christians.
You stepping into
a lot of Christians who endure
a territory.
Who endure like just horrible treatment from their spouses because they think that they're going to be condemned by the church or by God.
That's
but
how it used to be back in the day.
No, I'm
not.
It
used to be back
I do believe.
I'm not agreeing with that.
I do believe in to death do us part. Fix your face. I do believe in to death do us part, but I'm not enduring abuse. And you're not going to cheat on me 20 times, and I'm gonna be like, well, because I said I do to God. No.
What about one time? Hold up. What about one time?
You're making it seem like they were married.
I'm not making it seem like anything. I'm just talking about a scenario.
She got married after the fact.
I'm talking about a scenario.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what she did. I'm just saying.
And people probably call her stupid, and people probably call her dumb, and that's fair. I mean, you can fairly
Mickey
say.
was talking about old times and
Yeah,
how people stuck through thick and thin, and I was just
like
saying I'm not that one.
People.
I'm not
you
saying.
had married couples that was having other kids outside their marriage.
My great grandmother.
Dudes was smacking their wife if they wasn't listening to them, which was all wrong. But I'm more so talking about.
I'm interested to see his
now,
Diane Sawyer interview.
20 years from now, if they do move past that and they have a great marriage
I doubt
after
this
that.
in 20 years.
And it's possible that they wouldn't. But what does that say? If let's just say if the scenario is that's the first time he hit her. Let's just paint this scenario. He apologizes to her. They go and get therapy. They go and talk to their preacher. They go and
Jamal
go
Bryant.
through all the.
He made a comment and tweeted, I tried to tell y'all these hoes ain't loyal, but that's another situation for another day. But go ahead.
That didn't really happen, did that?
Yeah, it did. Happened today. No, yesterday. But anyway, go ahead.
But if they move forward from that point and they had a great life,
reminded, is what you're
and
saying.
because we live in a day and age where back in the day, right? If you had fought somebody and lost, nobody knows but the people that was there.
But we say a lot of what ifs. But in 20
Like,
years, who is going to care about Ray
oh my
Rice
gosh,
and his
that
wife?
is. Yo, we live in it. Yo, nothing ever really dies, nerd. Nothing ever really
in
dies.
20 years, media is not going to even be the same. The way we communicate is not going to be
It's
the same.
going to be worse. We're going to be more connected than we've ever been.
So we think.
Everything is documented. So if somebody says something racist on Twitter, it's documented.
In 20 years, though, who cares? In 20 years, my thing is the same thing happened when Mimi had the sex tape. Oh my God, you know her daughter's gonna have to see this when she gets older.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's horrible.
Who's to say her daughter will? Somebody's even talking about it when her daughter's 16.
Yo, kids are horrible. What, like, if a kid was trying to tease you
everybody's
and they had
still
your mom
if
naked,
everybody is still kids now. It might. What I'm saying is, it's not unlikely that people will forget about stuff 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Like, it's a lot of stuff that happened when I was a child that I can't even remember.
but there's no video footage of it though.
Even if it was.
You saying that, but you know.
I have footage of when I was a child. I don't look at that. Like, if it was something incriminating on there, like, stop giving me faces.
Because it sounds crazy.
No.
It sounds crazy.
It's just,
if you had a video, okay, put it like this. Let's say you had an issue with a guy.
You told me I can't assume what happened in that elevator didn't happen before. We can't assume that in 20 years from now that is going to be a constant reminder. We cannot assume that.
You can Google it. It's not. Okay, well, let me say this point.
You're talking about it because it's hot now. Nobody's saying that it's going to be even a thing. It's in the history book.
Let me say this point, right? Part of moving on is the fact that it's not fresh out anywhere. Like, let's say me and the girl have an argument. It gets crazy, and I smash the table and break stuff, right? That's bad. But there's no film footage of me doing that. 10 years down the line, if we move forward, the only people that know about that situation, and part of what helps us move forward in that situation, is that me and her know about that situation. We work that situation out between me and her, and we move forward. But if it's out there, like, for example, let's say OJ will never not be. They talk about that OJ case now. But OJ will always be the guy that killed Nicole.
OJ didn't change. He's in jail right now for what? Why is OJ in jail right now?
Some trophies.
What I'm saying is OJ did not turn over a new leaf. Had he had a clean slate entirely,
white people
can move on.
No. This is I think this is really good.
It's
what
good,
we're doing.
But we're not going to get on this.
Yeah.
Oh, now you don't care. Isn't that funny?
Go on the track.
Mr. Producer, no, I'm not even talking about that. It's other things to talk about. Mr. Producer, what are we talking about today?
100 views.
Give him a list, and now he wants us to stay on Ray Rice for the entire season.
You got to do that.
Because this is important. Why?
This is a timestamp.
Does it affect your life?
It doesn't have to. Does any of this stuff affect our lives?
But just answer that. We should talk. We should dedicate this whole episode to Ray Rice, because why?
I mean, it is a hot topic.
It's a hot topic, but to skip other topics,
it's a hot topic. It deals with the way we perceive women in America. It deals with a man's life who was at the high of heights in society as a football player, and now he doesn't have the opportunity.
Well, he shouldn't have fucked up.
Well, he might be able to come back and be a football player still. There's people in the NFL that's killed people.
I know. The Cowboys. So why are people so up in arms? Like, yeah, he'll probably be playing for another team. Like,
there's no video footage of it.
The vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah, we don't see that.
Y'all don't think he's gonna play football ever again?
I think he will.
Okay then. So let's calm down, everyone.
But the problem is that this is a situation where it affects so many different things, because we thought the NFL had seen the video, which I think they did.
They did. And they said today that they did in April. That came out in the news right before I got to the studio.
Somebody made a quote. They said, just remember that the NFL didn't do anything until you saw the video.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
So it's like, if you take that stance.
My question is, can the NFL be sued?
I think,
because everybody say
I think
he has a case saying that he has a case on his hands.
Oh, I don't think so. Rice. They can't be sued. I think if anybody, I would sue Revel if I was him. Yeah.
But they bankrupt.
I would sue whoever owns Revel, because that shouldn't have got out. That shouldn't have got out.
Is it too late?
Sure, I don't think it has like a what do you call it?
So TMZ is always protected. TMZ is just always protected.
They probably just have good. I mean, Harvey's a lawyer.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean, he's probably he knows his shit. I'm
right.
almost certain.
Yeah, that's why he gets away with shit.
But
That can't
just
be legal though. The way they got that information.
yeah, it can't be
It's a
legal.
part of a case now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's illegal, you know, you
This
can't
is
let
strategic.
evidence just be out there.
It's strategic.
So
But I think
who's
this is
getting who can get sued?
That's at this point it's irrelevant because this man lost his career. And I'm not saying that I agree with what he did by hitting her. That's a terrible thing, but it plays out because Ray Rice was a fairly well-known football player, and now it's just gone for now.
That's why it teaches a lesson to the people. I'm sure there are basketball players, football players, baseball players that are fucking their chicks up.
Sure.
So what it says is, fuck them up behind closed doors. Don't let footage be leaked. That's the message that's being sent in urban terms.
No, I think that's just your perspective on the situation.
No,
you shouldn't hit a. You should.
No, you shouldn't.
In society, you shouldn't hit a
You
female.
shouldn't.
Period.
But all these people that got away, you said they had no footage of. Ray Rice was the only one that has footage of his crime. So
What?
it's the scapegoat.
Yeah, and to some degree, he deserves that. Yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
But the most important thing, thank God she wasn't white. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, he'd be buried.
Yes, but all I'm saying is
White
you should be
privilege.
allowed. You should be allowed. Okay, before we slip, we should be allowed
wow,
to move
look at the
forward.
time.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And to Mickey's point, I do agree that he should be allowed to have a second chance.
So you want to slide to that white privilege?
Yeah.
White privilege.
Go ahead.
So I saw an interview in which comment below on what you think. What do you think? Yeah, do you think do you think do you think that the media went overboard, or do you think they gave him the right level of attention to attack him the way that they did in the media? Do you think it was warranted? And also,
Who
do
is
you
this
think
for?
the
The
Ray Rice?
listeners?
And do you think that he deserves a second chance of redemption, or do you think you should just stomp him to the ground until until he blasted? Comment below. Let us know. Let us know what you think.
Concord grapes.
So the next thing that we're going to get into is it's been said a lot, white privilege, and what are the thoughts on white privilege?
Right.
What do you? I guess this would be our last piece.
It's getting
on
late.
here.
I'm sorry, guys.
You want
No, go ahead.
All
White
right.
privilege.
Do you agree? There was a statement made by Childish Gambino where he said Donald Glover, where he said that white people start off with a clean slate and black people start off with a stereotype or an image that has already been created for them. So what they wear, how they dress, and how they act, they attach that to an image or an idea of what they are, but a white person can basically wear anything, do anything, and they have no stereotypes attached to them, which I don't agree with totally.
I don't agree with completely.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I saw the same interview. I get what he's saying, but first impressions are everything. So the outfit that Childish Gambino had on this interview, he had on a Hawaiian shirt. He said one of his friends' fathers died and he took his clothes. He thought it was cool. So he had on a holy cardigan. It was like 2 holes in the shoulder. He had on his Hawaiian shirt. He had on some short shorts and I don't know what kind of shoes he had on. He looked homeless as fuck. Face was unkept. Hair was all over the place. And if I saw him out and about.
She would give him her number.
No. If I saw this dude out and about, depending on what time of the day it was and what neighborhood we were in, I would be like, hipster. Okay, Mount Vernon for people in Baltimore. Oh, the art district. If it was late at night, I'd be like, oh, this dude is homeless. He looked homeless. If another race had that same outfit on,
yeah, they wouldn't be looked at that way.
I would look at them the same.
Really?
Depending on where they were.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
So, just like I don't know what's going on right now. So yeah, we judge Becky's, like blondes, brunettes, gingers, like everybody has
gingers.
Everybody has
a stereotype.
Yeah, like people see me, I have locks, a nose ring. They go, "Oh, you must like neo soul. Oh, you must
walking
be
around with no shoes on.
Oh, you must burn incense. Oh, you must be Ethiopian. Oh,
using different soaps.
You have a beard, a long one. People go, oh, you must be the 5%er.
Yeah. Or I must have a hat.
It is what it is. Like, if you meet a white dude that's tatted up, you must go, oh, well, he couldn't possibly work in corporate. Maybe he's a tattoo artist. Maybe he's a mechanic. Maybe he's a bartender. Like, all of that shit goes through my mind when I meet people. Maybe not you, but it ain't no clean slate for me. I'm judging everybody accordingly.
So I'm gonna go on the other side of it, and I'm gonna say I think what Donald Glover was trying to say is black people really have it hard.
Oh, it's worse. I agree.
You know, like, because you can't, and I don't think black people really understand how much we're not in a really, we're in a better position than we've ever been. I said this to somebody not too long ago. We're in the best position we've ever been and the worst position that we've ever been.
Why worse?
Because I think there was a time where we knew we weren't free and we were fighting for freedom. I think now we have a perception in our minds that we're free, but we're really not free. I think when you know that you're a slave, you know that you're trying to free yourself from slavery. But the worst type of slavery, true,
mentally.
But that's what I'm saying. The worst type of slavery is when you don't know that you're a slave. Like, I think if you ask a group of African American people, they would believe that, hey, we got a black president. Hey, we've gone far. We've done so much.
But
we're here.
Childish, and he was like, Barack can't do shit. Like, his mentality was just like, okay, we have a black president, and
but but he has met a lot of opposition, a lot of things that he tried to get to go through. I mean, I think his presidency will go down as it was a great moment. He saved the economy. I think that he will end up saving the economy.
You can only do so much in a 4-term,
But I think they will always say, like, he was the president that couldn't always get it done. And that's not all his fault, you know. But I do agree that white people definitely have, like, an added advantage because not only they don't.
America is what.
Yeah, I mean, it really, you are 10% of this, nation. I mean, a lot of the power positions, the real power positions, I mean, they're held by white people.
Well, I don't know if we talked about this or if this was somebody else, but there was a guy whose name was Jose. He filled out all these applications. He took the S out of Jose, and as soon as he took the S out of Jose, like, he got all his job offers.
I heard that. I mean, I think the one thing that we always have to keep in mind is that we have gotten far. I do think white people have had an advantage, and will always have an advantage to some degree until we do build our own machines, create our own Black Wall Streets, that type of thing. I think that's the only way that we can really start to build real fortresses of greater situations, because I think we still are kind of in a battle, but we don't know that we're in a battle. We don't know that, there is a guy that's going to make sure that his family wins. Like, if your family's been winning for generations, because a lot of the wealth is really generational wealth. A lot of the wealth is like a kid.
Kardashian?
Yeah, like, you never had to build, somebody already built your wealth.
The Kennedys.
You don't imagine,
make you feel
like he was saying, the Jaden Smith thing. Like, Jaden Smith gets a chance
to fuck up.
And you know what? I was telling somebody earlier, they were talking about, like, man, like, I feel like we don't really get the shot. Like, if I make a mistake and mess up, I don't have any family to help me out, or
what kind of fuck up?
Like
is the question. I think he left that very vague.
Well, I looked at it like this: if I make,
and look at how old we are. Jaden is a teen.
Yeah.
That's when you should be making mistakes. So when you get in your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, you've learned.
But even if he's in his 20s, let's say he tries to start a business and he gets into crazy debt and can't pay off the debt, whatever.
Why should
he can go to Will and say, look, Dad, I made a mistake.
He doesn't know what debt is.
No, I'm just saying, let's say if he ventures out on his own.
No,
that is true.
Because you're born into celebrity.
And how many people get the opportunity to say, hey, like the Dame Dash kid.
Yes.
He started the Chips cookie company.
And using his own money.
And using his own money. But let's be clear. If it came down, now Dame probably would give him a hard time. He looks like a guy to give him a hard
Is his
time.
mom Rachel Roy
but
or no?
No.
Only the little girl.
I think the girls. Yeah, the girls. The two girls are Rachel Roy, I believe. And
I thought they only had one girl, and then the other one was by Rachel's other person.
I'm not sure.
I think they only have one.
Okay, they may only have one, which is the older girl.
Yeah.
But if Dame's son company goes under, right, and they don't have enough money,
What's those
he could
cookies
holler
called?
at Dame, and Dame might give him the money. But most people would just be out. You wouldn't have the money to keep the business going.
Think about the Will Smith movie with his son. He specifically said, "My son has to be in this movie."
Exactly.
That was a good movie.
Sci-fi movie, which I thought was cool.
Oh no,
but
not that one.
But he had him acting early.
Pursuit of Happiness was good.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Okay. Yeah.
never
You were
saw
talking about
that
the sci-fi movie? Yeah. And it was a good movie. But think about, him putting him in that movie puts him in a position where he can showcase his skill in a way that another director might have been like, I don't care whose
Pretty
father
much.
you are.
It's
I'm
easy
not going to
money.
give you a position. So it's like we have to get everything on our own, and we don't have nobody to advocate for us on that next
Money
level.
is power.
True.
That's it. Money is power.
True.
If you're born into wealth, of course you can fuck up. Look at Tori Spelling. Like,
Yeah.
her fault. She's failed so many times. Oh, speaking of failures, you and I, we both watched Steve Harvey on Oprah.
Oh my God.
Powerful. I didn't watch all of it. I DVR'd it.
Please.
But Steve Harvey said, Oprah and Steve Harvey were in this room. And Oprah, he said, I'm sure, speaking of Oprah, I'm sure you've made the most mistakes out of everybody in this room. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. And he was like, and I'm sure I'll probably be the second person. He was like, I failed so many times, but y'all just don't know about it. He was like, but I'm here today because I never gave up.
Exactly. I agree with that. But I feel it sucks because our failures. Think about this. Okay, Steve Harvey said he started comedy at 27. He was homeless at 32 to like 36. So that means when he really started to get going, he was in his 40s.
But you know what bothers me?
His 40s, which
This
there's nothing
optional
wrong with that.
homelessness that people, their ego puts them in. That bothers me.
Well, who knows if he had a place to go?
He did. I've been following his career. But that's neither here nor there. Like, a lot of people give these sappy stories of how I was homeless. And it's like, you chose to be homeless.
I mean,
A lot of people. Not all. But a lot of these celebrities. They
Fair.
tell these stories and they omit that. Like, no, you just didn't want to abide by the rules of so-and-so.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, that those things are also, but it's a part of the story, I guess. It's a part of the story. I mean, I just look at, my biggest thing on it is that he started when he was 40. And he said one other thing was that, his kids will have such a better jump than he had. His kid won't have to wait till he's 40 to just start to get his. And if you think about it, Steve is at his hottest in the last, 5 or 6 years?
I mean, the Steve
4,
Harvey
5.
show was cool, but
this is his
wasn't-
hottest.
The only reason why he's popular with the masses is really his book, Think Like a Man, and
Yeah.
then
The movie.
no.
What?
It's the TV show. That's why white people know his face the most. Family Feud.
Oh yeah, Family Feud.
Family Feud is what catapults him because I listen to his radio show every morning.
Yeah.
He's done movies, he's done this and that, but Family Feud, my G.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, the
them game
demo
shows?
on that is.
GSN.
I mean, that's Middle America right there. But I just think that but his kids will get a chance, like Dame's kids,
And he has
or
a
like Jaden's
bunch.
kids. They get a chance to make those mistakes, and if we don't pay our rent or we don't come through on certain things, who do we go to fix those things?
But that just means that you have to get your shit together.
That's true, but the people that are winning, they've been winning
But
because they don't have to
you know
necessarily
what?
win all those battles by themselves.
We can't compare lives. Your journey is not meant to be my journey.
That's true.
I'm not supposed to have Jaden Smith's life because if I was, Sean wouldn't have birthed me. It would have been some other lady.
Shouts out to Sean.
Shout out to Sean. So yeah, I mean, we get hung up social media, Instagram, we lurking and, I'm 30 and I don't have this, but this blogger, this bitch is traveling the world, but you don't know her backstory. So, in closing out the show, my moral is going to be, it's easier said than done, but what is meant for you is meant for you. And you just have to constantly remind yourself of that. Like, stop trying to compare your life to the next person, because people share and show you what they want you to believe about their life.
Yes, Lord.
So just be grateful. And the diagram on Instagram that goes, our vision is a straight line, but God's is like curvy hills, valleys, and lows. So it's just like everybody says, what's worth having does not come overnight. So that's my moral. And don't abuse one another. Ladies and gents, keep your hands to yourself. Control your tempers. And also, here's another tip. Quick tidbit. I listened to Ricky Smiley, and he interviewed
Ricky Smiley.
She's
doing the Macarena.
He used to play with the Cowboys. He has a TV show on OWN. Deion Sanders. Thank you. He did he used to play for the Cowboys? Okay, good. And
oh
the 49ers.
My gosh.
Good.
That is so sacrilegious.
What?
You don't know Deion Sanders played for the
I don't give a fuck about football.
He played for the Ravens.
But
too.
I remember his dance. I remember his jersey, like the whole nine. Anyway.
These things don't count.
Anyway, he weighed in on the situation. He was just like, Mickey, I don't feel like they should have crucified him. That was a bit dramatic. Ricky Smiley admitted that he went to jail for domestic violence. He abused a lady, and he was just like, imagine if my career ended. I wouldn't have this I wouldn't have this TV One show. I wouldn't have this radio show. I wouldn't have this platform. I wouldn't have this great comedy career, blah, blah, blah. So he was just like, this is neither here nor there what I believe about Ricky Smiley. I won't even share that. But anyway, he says he won't even date a woman who pops off. Like, if a woman is sassy,
I agree
he
with that,
said, I know my temper.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put myself back in that situation. So he said,
Exactly.
if you know that you can't be around a woman who is sassy and aggressive, he said, I immediately, if a lady shows me who she is and that's who she is, I'm out.
Yeah.
So that's a lesson to fellas. Like, a lot of guys like sassy women
like
who
aggressive,
their necks
crazy.
are moving, and it's adrenaline and it's be wary of that in a dating stage. If a woman is getting mad at you, and every time she get mad at you, she putting her hands on you, it's just like, you probably shouldn't be around this woman. But anyway, Mickey, what's your moral? Close this out.
This is done, son. Here. My moral is that I'm chasing generational wealth. I want my kid to have
only one, guys.
All the advantages. First of all, my mom, shout out to Mama Dunn. She gave me a lot of advantages and that she didn't have. And so I've gotten to where I've gotten because someone looked out for me.
Somebody deposited into your life.
Yeah, they deposited that
yes,
in.
God.
Yeah.
Glory.
And so so I look at it as my goal now is, I went to college, I did my thing. Now my next goal is to make my kid an entrepreneur by the age of 16. I want my kid to do whatever he loves as his way of feeding himself. I just think that it's time out for working for people. I never liked working for people, and then I had to get the information to really learn that there was another side, and that's being an entrepreneur. So I have to take a long road because nobody's funding anything. I have to do it all myself, and I just hope to give my kid the opportunity to chase his passion without having to work a 9-to-5, and it's all about breaking the generational situation. if your kid can go to school without any college loans and this, that, and the third, I think that this generation, that's our win. If our kids can go without debt, the debt that we had to go through to get where we have right now, I think that's a win. So generational wealth, man. Let's build that Black Wall Street. You feel me? And comment below. Tell me what you think. Subscribe now. You know what I mean? And thank you for listening to the Verve sessions, man. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. You stay safe out there, Houston. You stay safe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.